Especially if he's nervous.
Good afternoon. My name is Carl Nelson. Welcome to the Instruction Design for Distance Learning Frontier. This session is brought to you by the Distance E-Learning Roundtable, Library Instruction Roundtable, and even though they are not mentioned in the magazine that was sent out to everybody about the conference, the Texas State Libraries and Archives Commission also contributed to making this particular session happen as well. The speaker for today's programs are Kristen Johnson, Public Service Librarian at Northwestern Vista College, and Julie Nichols, Library Instruction Coordinator at Northeast Lakeview College. Please give them a big hand. Also, to let you know, the program is being recorded and will be put up on YouTube.
That didn't frighten me. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us today. I am Julie Nichols, and it's Kristen Johnson. Now, both of us work at an Alamo College, as we've got up there. There are 5 different Alamo colleges. Kristen and I actually used to work together at Northeast Lakeview before she deserted me. And I still miss her, by the way, trust me. She's going to give you a little bit of her expertise on this subject, and I'm going to try to give you a little bit of mine. Just a brief introduction about myself. I've worked in libraries since the early 90s. Public libraries, school libraries, academic libraries, so I guess I haven't figured out what I want to do when I grow up. I'll let Kristen introduce herself as well, too.
And I've been working in libraries for about 7.5 years, 6 of which have been academic. And I've been working with some amazing librarians, including Julie. And she didn't pay me to say that.
Not yet. First of all, can everybody hear okay? All right, great, thank you. All right, well, first, we're giving you a pretty brief introduction about ourselves, but, we're really not that interesting, so let's move on. Well, and why are we up here? Well, first of all, we said yes when we were asked, would you present? Sure. We've done a lot of presentations together, and we enjoy doing it. But what do we really know about this? So before I get going, I want to ask everyone a question. How many of you are responsible for creating instructional materials for your libraries? Okay, so you have those handouts, tutorials, LibGuides, or LiveGuides, depending on which way you play. So I saw most of the hands go up. Well, Kristen and I found ourselves in that same position. Suddenly we were librarians, and suddenly we were responsible for creating all of these instructional materials. Okay, true confession time, we didn't have any professional training in that. So, we learned by doing. We learned by making mistakes. And I think Kristen, with my permission, is going to share one of the bigger mistakes that I made at one point. But that's okay. You learn from making those mistakes, as long as you correct them, of course. So there we were, responsible for all of that. We learned, we did take advantage of professional development opportunities when they came along to learn how to do this even better. So what we're going to try to do today is share with you a little bit of what we learned on that journey. And then we also have a resource, that's that tiny URL for you, a LibGuide that we created, sort of pulling together a lot of the resources that we've used to help us as we've learned about this process. Well, what we're going to focus on today is really about instruction. But I use that definition pretty broadly because we can think about our traditional instruction where we might be working with an entire class, but we also have instruction even at the reference desk or virtually via our chat reference. We're answering questions. And what we're trying to do, of course, is help our learners. Well, good instructional design is going to create better learning opportunities. Sometimes we create something that's a point of need. Maybe you've got a new database that you purchased. If you're one of the few libraries that still has money, of course. I know we don't, but hopefully maybe you do, and you bought something new, a new resource. You want to make sure the users know how to access it and how to use it. It might be driven by questions that you're getting. Maybe you realize you're getting a lot of questions about using ebooks, for instance.